Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, watch, share, but most important, comment, because it's extremely important that this community continues to deal and to understand the chaos. And what are we, on day 8, day 9? I mean, let me just talk about yesterday. Yesterday brought more chaos from the Trump administration. I mean, the Office of Management and Budget, out of nowhere, imagine you're working there, they put out a memo saying that pause in federal funding was to take place at 5 p.m. that day, meaning last night. Well, of course, like so many of the other executive orders that were signed, immediately a group ran into the court, and fortunately for them, a judge issued a stay on the freeze for a week. Purpose? To set up a hearing for further arguments on Monday. My friends, I want to be very clear about something, all right? Every single one of these executive orders, or almost every single one, I shouldn't talk in totality, but almost every single one of the executive orders are going to be met with legal challenges, which is why I say here on this program, I'm going to break down for you the daily chaos that's being created by both sides. And I want to go over what went down. It's extremely important that you really fully understand what this is all about, the dangers, and maybe even the pros. Well, Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, she decided to speak about the freeze in the briefing room. And I want you to keep in mind something that I say all the time. When she answers questions, the first thing you need to be thinking, who is she talking to? Is she responding to the journalists? Is she talking to inform and advise the American people? Or is she playing to a party of one? And I'm referring to Trump, a party of one, the only person that she cares about so as to avoid being shit-canned. Play the clip.
To the other question that you asked about those specific programs, again, I would say this is not a ban. This is a temporary pause and a freeze to ensure that all of the money going out from Washington, D.C. is in line with the president's agenda. And as the Office of Management and Budget has updates on what will be kickstarted once again, I will provide those to you.
Can you just clarify for a sec, please?
She's totally out of her league. Then Stephen Miller, went on and spoke with Jake Tapper about the memo being confusing. Play that clip.
I can't help it if left-wing media outlets published a fake news story that caused confusion. If you read the OMB guidance memo, it is... Well, if you read the OMB guidance memo,
I don't know what
it's as clear as day.
We just talked to Congressman Don Bacon, a Republican, a Trump supporter. We just interviewed him. He said that there was a lot of confusion. He said that the executive order
created by the media, Jake. The OMB guidance memo, if you read it, is as clear as day.
It's pretty broad
my point is,
and confusingly written. Parts of it are about DEI, parts of it are all disbursement. It is...
Yeah, DEI is suspended. That is correct.
Right, no, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of all over the map, and there is confusion, and it's not just... liberal media.
Jake, tell me.
Republicans.
Yeah. Another one playing to a party of one. I remember the day that Stephen Miller came on board, and I couldn't believe that he's managed to last as long as he is, let alone to play such a vital and a crucial part in this administration. He's a fool. He's a fool, and he's just being disrespectful so that, again, it appeases to Trump. Even Jessica Tarlo said that the memo was bringing chaos and confusing. Play that clip.
No, to respond to that. Sandra, you said there's no confusion. There's widespread confusion in all 50 states across the country. I mean, Karoline Leavitt would have us believe that it's just a wild coincidence that they initiated an across-the-board freeze and the Medicaid portals have gone down everywhere. Do you know what that's like to go to log in to access the system,
back up,
and it's
right,
all
to
shut
be fair?
down.
Well, we
I
do,
don't think
'cause
actually they are.
that happened with
Back up.
Obamacare.
She also didn't.
Catherine Sebelius, remember her?
Yeah, I do. But the Obama administration didn't initiate an across-the-board freeze. Then, by the way, she also didn't know how to answer whether 72 million Americans still had their health care. She said, oh, ask the unconfirmed head of OMB.
Yeah, again, they are all over the place. And it's this type of confusion that is going to make Americans pissed. So, of course, Dan Goldman gets into the act and decides to also criticize the freeze. Play the clip.
$3 trillion are distributed through these federal programs. And a policy difference under the law is not a good reason. It's not a sufficient reason to stop payment of federal funds. So just because Donald Trump doesn't like it does not give him license under the law. As Caroline Levitt said, there's of course no reference to what law, but it is flatly illegal.
Congressman Dan.
Yeah. And then Senator Tim Kaine is brought on to explain how the freeze will affect people in his state of Virginia. Play that clip.
Because calls are coming in from around Virginia from child care centers that worry that their funding is being cut off to the center or to parents who need it to help their kids with child care, to universities that are doing medical research, who are, billing the research institutions like the NIH for the research they're doing, unsure whether they will get a reimbursement. I've got a nonprofit in Virginia that specializes in helping low-income people and seniors apply for Medicaid. Some of their staff are funded by a federal grant. They think those staffers will potentially lose their jobs. Veterans yesterday told me they had been unable to access the VA portal for even getting medical appointments at the VA. And I have a brand new VA clinic scheduled to open in Fredericksburg in February. The opening date is still scheduled, but they believe they're under a hiring freeze and can't hire the staff that they need to serve veterans in that population. This is all real-time worries coming in.
Yeah, there is no thought to what was put out here. All right. And they're all concerned as to what's going on. Republicans are now getting sort of hammered a little bit regarding this and the chaos that it's sowing. So they call out the big guns. They bring out Alina Habba, who then goes on Fox News to give her take. Play that clip.
A couple things first, Chuck. Your attorney general is not the attorney general. We have an attorney general. That will be Pam Bondi. And what your opinion is on what the law is doesn't really matter. It's what the White House counsel says and what our attorney general of the United States says. What we have done.
Yeah, that's actually not 100% accurate. And, yeah, Pam Bondi most probably will be confirmed, but at the present moment, she is not. And just because they say it doesn't mean that it changes law. So I'm not 100% where they were going with this. But again, everybody plays to a party of one. And nobody knows that better than I. I did it longer than all of them for over a decade. And during all of this chaos, somehow or another, this is great. Stay with me, my friends. This is great. A rumor comes out that the Biden administration sent $50 million in condoms. Yeah, not condominiums, condoms to Gaza. And Caroline Levitt said exactly this in the briefing room. $50 million in condoms. Play the clip.
DOJ and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
And so this doesn't affect Meals on Wheels or Head Start or disaster aid?
Again, it does not affect individual assistance that's going to Americans.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Did she say that it was going to be going out 50 million in condoms, or it did go out? Because the rumors that were circulating through DC yesterday are all over the place. Now, MAGA pundits, of course, took the comment and they rolled with it. Can't leave something like this open where Don Bacon decides to talk about it. Play that clip.
And what drove it was the day leading up to the inauguration, the President Biden's team was putting out billions of dollars of money towards various programs, trying to shovel it out as fast as they could. And they were trying to put a halt on that to review it. I'll give you an example. like millions of dollars were being sent to Gaza for like condom programs that they found. So they want to put a freeze on some of this stuff and review it. So I think this executive order was interpreted too broadly initially. And I think it's being narrowed down. And they also assured me that it's very temporary, so it can live within the Impoundment Act law.
So
that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, well, you have.
That's what he's hearing. He doesn't know it. He didn't read it. It's what he's hearing. And so there he is, reporting on what he's hearing, the rumor. Well, again, don't forget what Caroline Levitt said, that there was supposed to be 50 million in condoms being sent to Gaza. Because Jesse Waters, the jerk off of Fox, yep, Jesse himself goes on to say, because they all have to just add to the bullshit that Hamas was going to use the condoms. Imagine this, to use the condoms for making, condom bombs. Now, I know what's going through your head. It went through mine too when I heard it. I know we're all filthy animals. Play the clip.
No condoms.
Yeah,
that means
you're in favor of
1,000 condoms
Israel.
per man.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000 condoms.
Are they worried about safe sex? Because you know what they're doing with the condoms?
No.
They're making condom bombs. That's right. Hamas floats these things up with bomb-making materials and then kaboom. Booby-trapped condom. Look it up. It's a dual-use technology. Thank God they got rid of that.
Yeah.
Wait a
I don't
second.
even know what to say. Jessica, would you like to respond to that?
Absolutely not. I would not.
What an idiot. All right. First of all, I'm not even going to go there. Just to say, what an idiot. And as always, as I do on this show, it's all about the truth. All right. No innuendo. There's no speculation here. Either I'll read something to you or I'll show you a clip. The Guardian went so far and they investigated the claim. And I want to show you what they found. According to a comprehensive report issued in September by the United States Agency for International Development, it's called USAID. I'm sure you've heard it. Not a penny of the $60.8 million in contraceptive and condom shipments funded by the U.S. in the past year went to Gaza. In fact, the accounting shows there was no condom sent to any part of the Middle East, and just one small shipment, $45,680 in oral and injectable contraceptives, was sent to the region. All of it, by the way, distributed to the government of Jordan. For the financial year of 2023, the most recent for which data is even available, only about $7 million worth of condoms were distributed, get a load of this, globally by USAID. And the vast majority of family planning funds, 89%, were spent on programs in Africa. It's kind of like left of Gaza. As Dan Evan of the nonprofit News Literacy Project points out, it is also worth noting that this is not a Biden program. Trump, too, spent funds on sending contraceptives around the globe. In 2019, about $40 million was spent on contraceptives by the Trump administration. My point exactly. Caroline Levitt, no idea what she's talking about. Jesse Waters, no idea what they're talking about. Don Bacon, I don't know, chalk him up to being a fool also. This is all rumor, it's speculation, it's nonsense, it's bullshit, and you're not going to get it here. It's why I constantly will say to you, make sure that you subscribe, you watch to the end. Make sure that you comment. I need to know the comments and share it with your friends. Help to build the community so that when 2026 rolls around, if things continue in this chaotic method, our voices will be heard. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.